You're in trouble, aren't you, son?
Yeah, well, that was my stepdad's ball. I took it without asking. It was signed by Babe Ruth.
George signed this?
George Herman Ruth? Yeah.
I take it back. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand.
Podcasting from somewhere in Central Florida.
Where is the bloody rum?
I see you've tried knifey spoony before.
Just drink some rum.
Rum is the power, rum is the key, rum is the thing that will set us free. Rum, 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 and nerdy. Rum, 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 and nerdy.
Sit back, relax, remember to turn off your cell phones. For the next hour, let me be your Candy Crush.
Hey everybody, welcome to Rum and Nerdy. I'm Greg.
And I'm Garrett.
And this is episode 4.37, Shrimp Cocktail Finger Hands.
What's that a reference to?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice?
Beetlegeist? What?
Beetlegeist? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to say it that third time.
Yeah. Anyway, so lots going on. Obviously, we're going to throw out some knowledge about Mr. James Earl Jones.
Tragic passing.
He wasn't my father, but I would have liked him to been. Seems like a solid dude.
Yeah, he did seem like a solid dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. Very sad. We'll talk about Beetlejuice, which was, yeah. You think that if they do a third one, do you think it'll be called Beetlejuice?
I hope so. Did you ever see that in Community, the longest running the longest running setup to a background joke ever in a television show?
Remind me.
They casually mentioned Beetlejuice in like season 1 and again in season 2. And then in season 3, when they mention him, they have Beetlejuice walk across the screen behind the characters in the library.
Yeah, I kind of remember
like through a window or something. Like, oh crap, that's kind of hilarious.
That show was perfect.
Community?
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. I mean, there were some things that got weird at the end. The whole Chevy Chase thing, I don't know.
Did we just non sequitur our way into, hey, we're going to talk about Beetlejuice? Meanwhile, this other television show.
Yeah. I don't know. There's other stuff. Like, I like, Sandy and I are like really close to done with all of the Stargate. So we can, I don't know if we talk about that. We talk about that a lot. Football season's here and kicked off.
I don't want to talk about it.
That means we're going to talk about it.
God damn it.
Let's just get it out of the way real fast. How's Jordan Love?
No idea.
Yeah?
I've been avoiding it. Much like politics, it's just head in the sand, just burr, burr, burr.
Yeah.
He's out for some quantity of games.
What, here's a good question to ask. What is Jordan Love's, who does Jordan Love's significant other endorse? Because apparently that's more important than anything else in politics is like, oh, yeah, because Travis Kelce's girl supports this, but her bestie, Mahomes' wife, Brittany, supports Trump. I don't know. It's dumb.
I don't know. All I know is that in 1 week, Kamala Harris has been endorsed by both Taylor Swift and Dick Cheney, and I'm not entirely sure I know how to process that information.
The apocalypse is nigh. It's like
that's not a Mandela effect thing. That legitimately happened.
Speaking of a Darth Vader protagonist that eventually redeems himself, Darth Vader.
I was going to say the stormtrooper decanter filled with rum.
Yeah, I got that for Christmas 2 years ago or two Christmas ago.
One cube.
2 cubes to roll them all.
Two cubes.
Yeah, this is Eldorado 15 in that bottle.
Wow, these are really tiny cubes.
It's also weird shaped glasses. So these are those glasses that are also Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That they just look like this amorphous.
It's like the negative space.
Yeah. So when you fill it up, it actually takes the shape. I mean, I guess technically it's already in the shape, but settle down. You don't have to over pour just to prove me right. So now it looks like the bottom half of a Stormtrooper's head in amber.
These feel ridiculously delicate.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever used them. Had them a year and a half.
So you're saying we should have washed them?
No. when I moved to offices, I did rinse them out. So they're new dust.
Great.
Yeah. There is actually a lot of little things to talk about. Okay, so
Yeah.
we got a couple. We got one thing out of the way.
We saw the movie Beetlejuice.
No, that we're drinking.
Oh, we're drinking Eldorado out of
Yeah.
Stormtrooper glasses. Yeah, these are
Patching together the studio tonight because Rum and Nerdy the studio shat the bed yesterday morning.
Yeah, I don't want to smile about it, but part of me smiles about it because every time I talk to anybody with a Macintosh product, they're like, "Oh yeah, this fucking laptop is 17 years old and it's still going strong and never had an issue and blah 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 blah." That Mac Studio didn't make it like 3 years and it just
Yeah. Apparently, it's like the whole board went out on it, and it was stuck in an endless boot loop where it just chong.
So,
chong,
I
chong.
100% have had that happen to me on PCs because it's PC, and every time that's happened, under $200, I just order a new board. It comes to me from China. I swap it out. There you go, up and running.
Yeah.
What's going on with this one, Greg?
It's a different breed. So, I actually like the Mac store, the Genius Bar was like, here, we call this guy if you want to try data recovery. And the guy's like, well, our priority package starts at $10,000. You have a dedicated team working 24 hours a day. No, I don't need that.
I'm pretty sure Rum and Nerdy, the podcast, doesn't need that level of recovery.
No, I mean, it sucks.
For
like,
season 4.
There's like the last 20, 25 episodes, the raw file.
Yeah, you just never backed them up.
They're just gone.
Oh.
Because usually like I do them in groups of 10 and I just haven't done it in a couple of groups.
Slacker.
Yeah. So that's going to suck if we ever need that. I mean,
take that season 4.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Well.
I mean, it's out there.
It's out there.
There's work stuff on it. There's all kinds of stuff.
It's been published.
It's
Losing data sucks.
Yeah.
So the Mac Mini has bit encryption on the hard drive. So you need the motherboard to access the hard drive, specially designed so you can't just pull the hard
you
drive.
looked this up today.
I didn't look it up. I said that is the only way. So like my corporate laptop has that.
Yeah.
It's a industrial espionage, safeguard. So my machine has it, and I know a lot of our industry clients use that.
Mm-hmm.
A good friend of mine works for one of our one of the big 2 locally, and when their corporate overlords rolled out the bit encryption, it bricked his computer because they did it wrong.
Jeez.
It's like, hey, we're just going to push this out over the network and just, restart your computer when you get into work in the morning. Nothing. Anyway, moral of the story is it's used a lot more now. It didn't used to be. I mean, you could just swap it out as needed, blah, 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 but not anymore. Back up your shit on an external hard drive that you carry with you randomly that you might leave on a bus.
I have been told by one local store that's not allowed to remove the hard drive from Macs that if I bring in an external hard drive that happened to have come from a Mac, that they have the technology to at least attempt, if it's not corrupted and whatever, if the drive is readable and salvageable.
And it's not bit locked. There's a chance it's not bit locked.
Yeah.
I mean, they told you it was, right?
They told me, and you described it a little bit better, but they basically said that something about the way that they're encoded.
Yeah.
You can't just put them on an external and it works.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you can try it. It doesn't hurt it to try it.
Yeah.
But basically,
you do it, and the machine's like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, there's, because it would be a Mac reading it, it might still go like, oh yeah, I can read this. Probably not. But they have a way of, if I have a hard drive with information on it that they can, and it's readable and everything else, that they can transfer that into a folder on an existing.
Okay.
They're like, you just bought a brand new Mac, just bring that in. I'm like, something wants me to take my other spare Mac and let you fuck with a file into it instead of this,
brand new shiny one that you,
Yeah. Let's let's just get the information. Anyway, so we can hope. There is a glimmer of a hope somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, the studio shot the bed, and so here we are on the little mobile spare with cables all over the place. It looked like an audio guy vomited.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it really does.
Anyway, so that happened. When are we going to talk about the other shit?
Oh,
You want to talk about Beetlejuice first, or you want to talk about James Earl Jones?
Well, let's talk about Beetlejuice, because, yeah.
That's what the logo says.
It is exactly what the logo says. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good sequel. And it wasn't just a sequel based off of the movie. 'Cause did you ever watch the cartoon?
I did. I don't remember it.
It felt more like the cartoon, which came after the movie, so it's the natural progression of that character and his relationship with everybody else. It had that fun cartoon vibe, and not the
relationship between the two of them. Like in the cartoon, like I didn't feel like from what I remember of the cartoon, Beetlejuice was less of a protagonist and more as like part of the club, and they would do things. And this one, because of her trauma and everything else, in this sequel, I didn't feel like there was that camaraderie and everything that happened in the cartoon. I didn't see that at all.
You're right, but there was more camaraderie. Like they teamed up for a mission, kind of a thing.
Maybe I see with that angle.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're going to go do this thing, and like we're on the same side for a second. It wasn't just him screwing with people. But
yeah, at the same time, he was completely trying to bullshit her and, get her to marry him so he could come back and everything.
Yeah, which he did before. But I mean, at the end of the day, never, didn't fall for it.
So there was a lot going on in the story that I thought was pretty obvious. There was some, like the whole thing with the boy and blah, blah, blah. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah. If we had the spoiler alert sound file,
I have it
handy.
Not going to having enough issues tonight.
Not going to risk it.
Yeah. The squirrel in the computer is really tired of running in the wheel. No, I felt that spoiler alert. That's the box checked. I felt like there was some pretty obvious things, and it's like, yeah, she almost got hit by the trash truck, and then she almost got hit by the car, and then she went through a fence, and then she hit her head on the tree that she crashed into, and then she saw a dead boy, and that was pretty obvious.
I didn't find that obvious. I thought that was...
Oh, I leaned over to Sandy and like, yeah, she sees dead people. And she goes, huh? And he goes, she's Sixth Sense now. And like, huh? I'm like, the boy's dead. And she's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So, especially like when they went in the house and the mom or the dad didn't turn around, they just kind of waved over their head and didn't like really make anything. And the mom's obsessing and the filth and the lighting in the house. I'm like, yeah, they're dead too.
I didn't get any of that. So I don't know. I thought it played well for me. It absolutely played well for me. Sandy
thinks one of my superpowers, like we all had, we both regularly over the course of the 4 seasons have talked about, hey, 4 seasons. You and I have talked about the fact that we each have superpowers.
Yeah.
Sandy's thoroughly convinced that one of my superpowers is that within the 10 minutes of the beginning of any TV show, I'll tell you how it's going to end, and I'm right 90% of the time.
Okay, I can see that.
And maybe that's just a function of like all the storytelling and the whatever. It's like there's only so many versions told. And sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, I didn't see that coming," and then there's times I'm like, "No, it's gonna like, oh yeah, the cat is actually a dog in a cat suit or something like that."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, it wasn't that. It was actually the cat is in the cat suit of a different cat. I didn't see that cat."
Yeah.
Whatever. Cats and dogs.
There you go. Living together, mass hysteria.
Yeah, possibly on the menu in Colorado. Sorry.
Anyway, I was blown away by how many people there were in this movie.
Agreed.
Like, as soon as Danny DeVito showed up, I'm like, wait, what?
As soon as that was like in the first 3 seconds.
Like, hey, who the fuck is that guy? Oh, it's Danny DeVito. That's how this movie's gonna go.
Yeah.
William Dafoe, real part. On top of the original cast.
Okay, so main cast there, obviously Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Jenna Ortega. Like these are the main people. and the daughter. Like these are the return
Yeah.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was I want to say Rooney, but it's not Rooney because it was Rooney
from Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's. But
Yeah.
that actor
removed
from the movie.
Yeah,
And you know why?
he was Me Too, wasn't he?
No, he was caught with. He was arrested trying to commission underage videos, inappropriate videos from an underage boy. And during the arrest, they found other footage on his computer of underage boys.
Oh,
And apparently the case was eventually dropped, though. But it was like there's the footage. Whatever.
It was one of those things like we dropped the case because the officer's shoes were untied when he went to make the arrest.
It could have been any
something like
reason, but I didn't see anything when I was looking it up because I was like, what about? But either way, he wasn't in it. But I thought they did an interesting job doing the story of his demise in the claymation stuff, and then basically having his character there with his head bit off.
His flashback was all done in Tim Burton claymation, and No, you're right. I thought it was very cleverly done.
Yeah. And then, of course, the guy that played Otto, he died. So there were several of the other primary characters from the original. Gina Davis said in an interview that she thought that they didn't bring them back because her or Alec Baldwin were too far aged and would have been dramatically aged.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she says that's her speculation because they never even called her.
I also don't think they were needed for the story. And truthfully, they weren't needed for the story, but the whole added component of the Soul Train and moving to the great beyond or whatever way,
it supports it.
It 100% supported it, and it led to a really fun callback when you're panning over the model in the beginning and you see that there are two characters in the ravine after the thing, and then there's another flashback scene where you see their car in the river. Yeah. So I thought it was tastefully done. And, like, truthfully, if you would have brought them back, it might have just come off as gratuitous because you didn't need to. You know? I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, so I totally agree. But back at the IMDb, of course, we have that. Justin Theroux was Rory. I hate that name because the R's in that it's
Rory.
Rory. I don't think there's a way to say that name without sounding drunk, but
no.
There's that. William Dafoe, he was hilarious. Afterlife cop, not because he was a cop in real life, because he was an actor that played cops in real life. And he camped that up. William Dafoe's a tremendous actor.
Mm-hmm.
Monica Bellucci was the Dolores, the stapled together girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
Which I thought was a little. It was on brand, and it was appropriate for the movie. And I remember this because the first movie came out like '89 or something, and I remember that parents were outraged that they took their kids to this movie, and it was, not a kids movie, and everyone was like, "Yeah, what the fuck were you thinking?"
Yeah.
And in this one, we showed up there. There were some little kids.
Well, we saw it at 11:30 on a Saturday.
We saw it.
It was going to happen.
It doesn't matter the time you go see.
Okay. One thing I got to say.
Okay.
There's a little girl that was sitting like 2 rows behind us.
Uh-huh.
Her infectious laugh made my whole afternoon. Something would happen on the screen. There was things that I laughed at and then she started laughing, and I'm like, how the fuck does this little girl understand that joke? But even better yet, her laugh was so adorable.
That's awesome.
I didn't see her after, but her laugh, I'm just like the whole time, I'm like, I love this kid for getting so much humor out of this dark, twisted Tim Burton.
I mean, when one of the characters was staple gunning her disembodied body back together, like just putting the parts back together with a staple gun, and that's kind of how the movie starts, I was like, there's some little kids in this freaking theater. Like, that's pushing it.
Yeah. It will be on social media that kids are trying to staple themselves.
Let them.
Yeah. Builds character. Anyway.
That's how we get rid of the weak ones.
So an actor's name that most people don't know, Bern Gorman. You recognize his face. He was Father Damien.
Torchwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's been. Oh, and Batman. Wasn't he in one of the Batmans? He's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, he's a great like that creepy character actor. He's kind of like the new version of what's his name from that was in Back to the Future. His dad, the younger version of his dad from.
Oh yeah.
That guy. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Pacific Rim. He was the weird scientist in Pacific Rim.
Hunger Games? Look at that. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I mean, I just know him as that dude from Torchwood.
And I just know him from the guy from Pacific Rim.
Oh.
So, because honestly, I never watched Torchwood.
Oh, so good.
It's on the list. It's one of those, eventually I'll fucking do it.
Well, you know how I gave you the instructions on how to watch Stargate?
Yeah.
Yeah, Torchwood and Doctor Who is like that. There was a period where the two overlapped.
Oh,
and they
sorry. Yes,
they
I did
this.
watch all of Torchwood.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Western that's... there's a Western with a similar name, and I don't know why.
Westworld?
No. It's like a
Oh,
Western.
Deadwood?
Maybe it was Deadwood. Yeah.
No, not Deadwood. Torchwood.
Yeah, that I did watch.
Okay.
Because remember, like, I made a big deal out of going into...
Yeah.
When I was in Cardiff, going to...
You did. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right there on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was in that. He was also creepy as fuck. The creepy fucking scientist. That's what his typecast.
He can play a creepy dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so he was in it.
Yeah.
You said Danny DeVito. Long way around. You said Danny DeVito, the janitor.
Mm-hmm. It was a good lineup. It was a good casting. It was a fun movie.
Yeah. Totally fun. Now, here's a couple things for us, right? 22 best Beetlejuice Easter eggs and reference fans may have missed.
Okay.
Now, I have not read this list yet, so I have not vetted it.
Okay.
So we'll go through them. Some of these
are going to be really obvious. So like, did you know in the first movie, Beetlejuice had green hair, and in the second one, it was also green?
Yeah. These lists always like, well, we came up with 15, but 22 sounds better, so just add some shit. First one, everyone loves Harry Belafonte. So, okay, they did sing Deo in a boys' choir a cappella at the funeral.
Yeah.
That's one of those, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's,
obvious.
Yeah. Who's that?
It was Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
She waved.
Fashion is cyclical. Here's one. Styles come and go, but his fashion icon Lydia Dietz remains remarkably steadfast. I don't know. So, she still wore all black ensemble.
Okay.
And the legendary they brought the red wedding dress. Like, that's okay. That's not an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Maybe
people don't understand the difference between callbacks and Easter eggs.
Yeah. Okay. So this one I thought is good. Art endures. The crabby claw-looking sculpture.
Yeah.
Is outside the house, but it's also at the school in the middle of that like fountain where as they sit as a family. Yeah. So that particular sculpture was in a couple different places.
It was also stolen during production.
Really?
Yeah, that made the news. Some people absconded with that classic sculpture.
That's hilarious. Okay, next one, Bridges Bad News. Known for its picturesque downtown, the town Winter River. She rides her bike across the bridge. This list sucks so far. The Maitlands remembered.
Thanks, Internet.
Skipping that. Up to his old tricks. To prove to the Maitlands he is scary enough to be hired, Beetlejuice allows frightening appendages to protrude from his face. So he did that again.
He did that again, yeah. This is a shitty list. It doesn't understand what Easter eggs are.
No.
Easter eggs are showing the Maitlands in the model, off to the side, looking at each other, like over the thing. Like that was an Easter egg.
Beatles just put out the word because he did a flyer released out again. The family business. Jane Butterfield so wanted to sell the Maitland house, and when Adam and Barbara died, she finally got her wish. After the buyers, Charles Dietz, passed on, it only makes sense that another Butterfield, a.k.a. Little Jane, would put it on the market again. So, okay, so the realtor was the daughter of the realtor that's actually kind of an Easter egg.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Beetlejuice is beloved. In the first Beetlejuice, during the wedding scene, when the groom is asked for the ring, he produces a severed finger wearing a gold band. I'm telling you, honey, she meant nothing to me, nothing at all, he assures Lydia, who looks disgusted. In Beetlejuice, he is pursued by his ex-wife. Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, oh, they never really mentioned this, whatever. But yeah, apparently I was wrong. They do. Make them dance. So yeah, Beetlejuice made them dance again. To stretched out faces are always gruesome when they got sucked into the phone. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Reference to other Tim Burton characters. So apparently his ex-wife, Dolores, being stable together was a reference to Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, nice.
That kind of makes sense. Danny DeVito's grotesque afterlife janitor, who is often fluid dripping from his chin, much like the penguin from Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Does anyone think the shrunken head guys also look like the aliens from Mars Attacks?
No.
No, I don't see that. Jenna Ortega plays a private school outcast whose wits are clouded by a cute, preppy boy. Her character's name is Astrid, but you might as well remember her as Wednesday. No. This list is horrible.
Yeah. Which one? Whose list is that?
I should have. I'm embarrassed I clicked this.
Wait, what? Which one is it? Tell me. Say it. Say it.
Good housekeeping.
What the fuck do they know about Easter eggs?
Yeah.
Other than hiding them, apparently.
Okay, this one's from Variety, and I'll just go through this real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Deo, Harry Belafonte song, The Sculptures, Ghost House. Okay, so she had a show called Ghost House. When audiences first see the grown-up Lydia Dietz, she is hosting her own paranormal investigation called Ghost House. While it is a perfect name for the series, it also a cheeky reference to what could have been the 1988 film's title if Warner Brothers got their way. Ghost House was actually almost the name of the first movie. Screenwriter Al Gough tells Variety they didn't like Beetlejuice. Tim really had to fight for the name.
Huh.
So that's kind of an interesting little thing.
Yeah.
Miss Shannon's School for the Girls. Before Lydia floats up the stairs in her school uniform in Beetlejuice, she is seen leaving Miss Shannon's School for the Girls. This esteemed institution makes a return in the sequel. Astrid rides her bike past it, going to Charles' funeral. Okay. The wedding dress. Okay, and I'm just calling it that. This is the end of the Easter eggs, unless because like you mentioned,
there's probably a lot of them. It's just no one on the internet apparently knows what a fucking Easter egg is.
Yeah. Like to me, seeing like in that first opening scroll when they come through the town and seeing the couple running up the ravine after the crash, that is an Easter egg. That's like that to me. It's like that's a little nod.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
Anyway,
that was Beetlejuice.
It was good. It's worth. I think it's worth seeing. It's really well done. If you like the original,
agreed. I will say I don't think it's as good as the original.
I think it's probably I think you're right. It's slightly different because the original you're following the journey of two people who had recently deceased and how Beetlejuice uses them to help how he manipulates them. And this movie is more about just the other characters and how they try to reach back.
They know
out
his
to,
game.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're going to go do this thing and save so and so.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of lose the mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood. Okay.
Beetlejuice. Check that box. Boom.
Check that box. We give it 2 rums up.
2 rums up. Basically, if we drive out to a fucking movie theater to see something, it's got to be good.
Yeah. The last couple, we've had some successes. I don't think we've seen... have we seen something recently that's just been like, What was this fucking turd?
I, the last time I saw a movie that was that bad, it would have been Red Line. It was a Fast and the Furious knockoff.
I don't remember that.
It was so bad. So bad. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's the update on that. Now, what do we talk about the James?
Yeah. James Earl Jones passed away.
Yeah, which is really sad. But the dude, like, he lived a long fucking life.
Yeah.
He was like in his 90s.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love going over his IMDb, is because he, obviously he did.
Oh shit, he did that.
He did a lot of voice acting stuff, but then you're looking at it like, oh yeah, he played himself in a lot of things,
which is hilarious. And you know what? A lot of people don't realize, super accomplished in theater. He actually found a lot of love in doing theater. And,
yep.
So there's that. This is from facts.net. This is 42 facts about James Earl Jones you may not have known.
Oh boy.
And already looking at them, these kind of like, okay, some of them are like, okay, well, yeah, sure.
Did you know that he wore a size 11.5 shoe?
Well, right off the bat, it says James Earl Jones was born on January 17th, 1931. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was old.
He is 1 year younger than the car in my garage.
That's old.
Yeah. Second up, he has one of the most recognizable voices in Hollywood. We knew that.
Obviously.
James Earl Jones stuttered as a child. I knew this.
Yep.
And actually, learning scripts and studying theater actually helped him kind of overcome that.
Yep.
That and his love of poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he made his Broadway debut in 1957.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Did it say what his first show was?
Sunrise at Cambobello.
No idea what that is.
It earned him critical acclaim. I have not heard of that show.
Okay.
James received a Tony Award for his role in The Great White Hope. 1969, James Earl Jones won a Tony Award for Best Actor in a play for his portrayal of Jack Jefferson. Yeah, so there you go. Next, he voiced Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy. I think everybody knows that. Jones has performed in over 20 films. Throughout his career, James Earl Jones has appeared in a diverse range of films, including Field of Dreams, Lion King, and The Hunt for Red October. Oh, that was a good movie.
Oh, that was yeah. Yeah, Greer. He played Greer in like Patriot Games, Hunt for Red October. And
I guess I didn't realize, because the TV show, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
And I forgot the actor's name that plays Greer in that, but it's the same guy that was in Westworld.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but he was Greer in like, I think 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
Huh.
Speaking of the number 3, he's been nominated for 4 Academy Awards.
Nice.
I was just trying to link that. Math is hard. Jones is a distinguished stage actor. I think we covered that. His powerful voice has also been featured in voiceover work for commercials and documentaries. Yes. It's almost like if we had like a list of the 10 coolest things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he could say. Jones served in the United States Army. I did not know this. Prior to his acting career, James Earl Jones served in the United States Army, where he worked as a communications specialist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of random Hollywood people that have done that.
Yeah. He received Kennedy Center Honors in 2002. I did know that, which is kind of an interesting award. I think, yeah. I kind of remember that's where you get that big medal and
yeah.
James Earl Jones is the recipient of multiple honorary degrees.
Does it have a list of his honorary degrees?
It just says, due to his immense impact on the entertainment industry, James Earl Jones has been awarded numerous honorary degrees from esteemed institutions. I'm sure it's like in film and television, theater, and blah, blah, blah. He's an avid supporter of civil rights. I knew this. Jones has appeared in several Shakespearean productions. I think that kind of goes along with the theater thing. He received the National Medal of the Arts in 1992. Jones starred in the television series Gabriel's Fire I didn't know that. James Earl Jones portrayed the lead character in the television series Gabriel's Fire, earning him critical acclaim for his performance.
He has like credits, 190 acting credits, self-credited 226. I don't know what self means, but 226 times, 64 times for archival footage. Don't know what that means. Anyway, he's got a lot of credits.
He's won a shit ton of awards, like we said. Lifetime recipient of a Special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in Theater. A Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album, 1977. Check this out. Jones won a Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album for reading of the Great American Documents.
Yeah, what is that? The Magna Carta?
One of the greatest American documents, the repeal of Prohibition.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
The people are thirsty.
The people are thirsty.
Yeah. Jones narrated numerous audiobooks. No kidding. He could narrate the phone book. He has a twin sister named Jumana.
Did not know that.
Yeah. That's interesting. She's very private, apparently. Jones has collaborated with renowned director Steven Spielberg. Okay. He worked with legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg on multiple occasions, including a critically acclaimed The Color Purple. I forgot he was in that, too. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He received the Voice Arts Icon Award in 2015. He received the National Medal of Honor in 2011.
Interesting.
He starred in Broadway revival of You Can't Take It With You. That was in, it doesn't say a year. He was honored with the Disney Legend Award in 2011. By the way, we should tell the Josh Gad story of that, of him.
Yeah.
That's a funny story. He appeared in over 30 television shows.
He played himself on an episode of 2.5 Men.
Well,
and House, like he's been in so many random things.
And Big Bang Theory, great episode.
Oh, that was a great episode of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, you're not one of those weirdo guys that just loves Star Wars and everything about it. Me too.
That's the one where they were like ding dong ditching Carrie Fisher's house.
It's like, oh, and she's weird.
It wasn't that was the first time they had ever appeared on screen together.
Yeah, and apparently when she walked on set, she screamed, "Dad!" Okay, everybody. This is embarrassing, but this is just not a good tech night for us.
No.
I don't know if, as you're listening to the episode, if you can hear there's little glitches. But every time it does that, we've got to reboot. So this is on the little mobile spare. Poor little thing. We're working it too hard. Is what it is.
Yeah, we got to go.
So after a lot of kicking and screaming, we're just going to wrap up. So we'll start off. Thanks for thank you to Dave Martin.
DumbAndDavePro.com.
We love you, dude. Can't wait to see you at SATE. We got to talk about that soon too. That's coming up quick.
We do, yeah. Check us out on our website, RubAndNerdy.com.
Did you say your part?
No, you didn't say your part.
I said thank you, Dave.
And I said DumbAndDavePro.com. I said it
I
really
didn't hear
quickly because
yeah, we don't know
because
how
these
long this is
microphones are
gonna
going
work.
to fail any second now.
Yeah. Okay. So check us out at our website, rumandnerdy.com. That's rumandnerdy.com.
Social media is at RumAndNerdy. Also A&D.
And you can email us at show@rumandnerdy.com.
If you want to donate some fucking microphones to us, we could totally use them.
I don't think it's the
or
mics.
cables or a hub or I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. Anyway, technical difficulties. Thanks for bearing with us. Brand new laptop is here. We just need to get it all set up and everything. So we'll be back next week for sure.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night and a drink a rum. Daylight come and me want go home. Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
category tonight from the Home Office, top 10 things that sound cool when spoken by James Earl Jones. The famous actor, a fine actor, a lovely man. Top 10 things that sound cool when spoken by James Earl Jones. James, nice to see you. Thank you very much.
He's in character.
Yeah, like that guy that was here earlier. Top 10 things that sound cool when spoken by James Earl Jones. Here we go, number 10.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah. Number 9.
Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear.
Number 8.
J-Lo in the house.
J-Lo in the house.
Yeah, that sounded cool.
Number 7.
Click here now for the hottest sex sites on the web.
Number 6.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture goes to Dude, Where's My Car?
I like that. Number 5.
You're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean.
All right, fine. Number 4.
You mean I get all these great funk classics on just one CD or cassette?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Well, now, wait a minute. That makes no sense at all. The number 2 cool thing when spoken by James Earl Jones.
Meow, 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 meow.
And the number 1 thing that sounds cool when spoken by James Earl Jones.
What's up?